जय श्री श्री गुरु गौरांग गंधर्व के गिरिधारी श्री श्री राधा विनोद बिहारी जू की जय। श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ मरण मोहन जू की जय। नित्यालीला प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद अष्टोत्तर शत शिशुमार भक्ति वेदांत नारायण स्वयं महाराज श्री गुरुदेव की जय। नित्यालीला प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद अष्टोत्तर शत शिशुमार भक्ति वेदांत वामन गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। नित्यालल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपार शतर शत शिशुमार भक्ति प्रज्ञान केशव गोसाई महाराज की जय। नित्यालल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपार शतर शत शिशुमार भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोसाई प्रभुपाद की जय। नित्यालल प्रविष्ट महाभागवत श्री गौर किशोरदास बाबा जी महाराज की जय। नित्यालल प्रविष्ट श्री सच्चिदानंद भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की जय। नित्यालल प्रविष्ट वैष्णव सार्वभौम श्री जगन्नाथ दास बाबाजी महाराज की जय। श्री रूपानु गौरी गुरु वर्ग की जय। श्री रूप सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ श्री जीव गोपाल भट्टदास रघुनाथ साधु गोसाई प्रभु की जय। श्री स्वरूप दामोदर राय रामानंदारी श्री गौर पार्षद वृंद की जय। नाम जय श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासरी गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री क्षेत्र मंडल गौर मंडल ब्रज मंडल मथुर वृंदावन धाम की जय। सर्व अभिष्ट प्रदात गिरिराज महाराज की जय। श्री राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड की जय। श्री यमुना देवी गंगा देवी की जय। श्री तुलसी महारानी वृंद देवी की जय। श्री भक्ति देवी की जय। श्री पूर्णमासी योगा माया की जय। श्री गोपेश्वर महादेव की जय। श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। समागत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। जय sorry I'm spaced out. Jai Shri Dainika Nadīyā Prakāśa ki jai. All the periodicals of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada and his followers ki jai. Jai Srila Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj, the head editor of Dainika Nadīyā Prakāśa ki jai. Jai Shinita. Jai Samagata Gaur Bhaktavinda ki jai. Shinita Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. All right, so we'll do a quick Jai Dvani. One second. Did I say Jai Dvani? I meant to say Mangalacharan. Ajnanatirandhasya jnananjana shalakaya chakshurunmilitam yena tasmai Shri Guruve namaha. Guruve Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tad Bhaktaya Namo Namaha. Shri Siddhanta Saraswati Vidito Kodiya Gurvanvaye Bhata Bhanuriva Prabhata Gagane Yogora Sankirtanai Maya Bharati Mingilo Daragatan Udritya Jivaniman Krishna Prema Sudabdi Gahana Sukham Pradat Prabhung Tang Bhaje Vande Bhakti Vinodam Shri Gaura Shakti Swarupakam Bhakti Shastra Samrajam Radha Rasa Sudha Nidhim Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Pancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Bhaktya Vihina Aparada Lakshai Kshiptashtakama Titaranga Madhye Kripa Maitvam Sharanam Prapanna Vrinde Namaste Charanaravindam Bhaja Shri Kṛṣṇa Caitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Śrīvāsa Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. That's strange, there's not so many people here yet. Huh. Okay, anyhow. One second. Welcome to our, I think it's the 14th Dainika Nadīyā Prakāśa session. This is the daily newspaper of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada under the editorship of Srila Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj. So my mind went blank. Anyways, we're going to start now. If anybody wants to read any of these articles that we're going through, you can go to nadiyaprakāsh.com. NADIYAPRAKASH.com. And so I'm going to hand it over to Śrīvāsa. Wait, but I need to give him permission to share his screen. All right, there. Okay, Śrīvāsa.
All right. So here we are again. Shri Shri Guru Gaurango Jayataha. This is from the 11th Caitra, Saturday, 1334, or March 24th, 1928. The search for goodness. I say, why are you getting upset? Oh, why are you getting upset? Hear what I am saying first. Then if you must get upset, then get upset. I will not say anything but what is good for you. Calm yourself a bit and hear what I have to say. Deliberate the pros and cons and see for yourself. Then say what you must say after that. What am I saying? Listen. You are working up the sweat of your brow to bring home an income of 2 paisa so that your sons and daughters can eat happily for a few days. So what I'm telling you is to not waste your hard-earned money. The minions of Kali don the garb of saints and come to you, spinning various yarns, tempting you in various ways, and they cheat you, stealing your hard-earned money to enjoy themselves. That's why what I'm telling you is to be a bit careful. Don't let your money go to waste. I'm telling you this because you are my bosom friend. But if you get upset at this, you will only end up cheating yourself. If you want to give in charity to fulfill your dharma and karma, then give in charity to a deserving person. If you give in charity to an undeserving person, you will have to go to hell. Will you listen to what Scripture has to say? Scripture has said that those who take money for giving mantra or for reciting Bhagavatam are selling religion. They are not genuine. If you invite them to a funeral or some other ceremonial function, you will end up in hell. There is no escape once you fall into their clutches. Nothing actually dharmic will take place. Rather, you will simply be implicated in sin. Later, if you really truly want to engage in dharma, then you must search for a good guru, a bona fide guru. When you lack something in your material life, you tell Bhagavan about it. If you are in trouble, you call out to Bhagavan. Likewise, if you really want to engage in dharma, then convey to Bhagavan that you want to find a good guru. Only Bhagavan will make everything good. Those who are always preoccupied with serving Bhagavan, who don't know anything besides Bhagavan, only they are worthy of becoming guru. If you go to them, they will not ask you for money. Instead, they will say, I have taken full responsibility for all your burdens. Go, do Hari Bhajan. And if you say, no, I want to be a family man and do Hari Bhajan, even then they will give you good instructions. You will see that if you approach a good guru, you will no longer be cheated. And the purport of scriptures will automatically arise within your heart. We'll leave it at that for today. So some short little, a lot of them have so much personality, little musings.
Śrīvāsa, could you make your, could you zoom in a bit?
Yes. Okay, so the next musing of the day is an oasis in the desert. when, with a hopeless heart and broken courage, I was slowly wandering through the markets and bazaars of Navadvip town with copies of Nadīyā Prakāśa, then I really was wondering, what jewel am I going to find in this scorching desert? There is not even a ribbon of water here, no sign of leaves or blossoms. I don't know why I have come to such a place. I feel like I'm going to end up losing my life due to thirst. Nevertheless, duty-bound, I must plod through this sandy Sahara, a place where no one can go and come back from with their life. In this kind of awful situation, walking on foot amid the scorching wind, I am crossing the ocean of sand. There are no friends, no comrades, just burning sand. And it's getting hotter. Like a drowning man delighted to see a boat in front of him, I was walking along in hopelessness with the last of my life airs lingering at my lips, when suddenly it was like I could see a beautiful clean lake surrounded by a charming forest full of so many beautiful flowers, vines, and bushes, and resounding with the sweet calls of cuckoo birds. This was not something that can be seen in dreams. It was beyond imagination. It was nothing other than the grace of God. I was walking through the markets of Navadvip, anguished at heart, my mind full of hopelessness, wandering around amid the burning sands of abusive words, feeling like I was going to die, when suddenly I hear a few friends showering the soothing water of loving words. It was like they were putting magical life-reviving medicine into the mouth of someone gasping for breath, raising him from the brink of death. These people who had never seen me, never heard my spiel, saw me and said, do not fear, keep going forward fearlessly and fixed on your goal, like Abhimanyu, surrounded by the 7 cowardly generals. But you won't have to die like Abhimanyu. No one can stand up to your brilliance. You have not come to tussle. You have come to give love, to give the holy name. So everyone will be enchanted with a 16-year-old boy like you and bow their heads. They will subscribe forever. Go forth on the path of your mission. Do not falter. You will meet with great results. What was this from amidst antagonists? So much reassurance so suddenly, such sweet words, such honor for the message of Bhakti Siddhanta, and so much genuine conviction. I had not seen anything like that anywhere. That's why I'm saying it was an oasis in the desert. I actually got like goosebumps just reading that. I don't know why. It's just very descriptive and emotional, and I just can put myself in his shoes. Whoever that was, I wonder who was that. That wouldn't have been Srila Goswami Maharaj. But one of the young boys in the mud at that time trying to distribute Nadīyā Prakāśa.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next. To the mind. Mind. Sometimes you want to be a Shakta. Sometimes you want to be a Shiva worshiper. Sometimes you want to worship Ganesh. Other times you become totally preoccupied with worshiping Surya. And other times you want to wear tilak and neck beads and become a Vaishnava. For once, just tell me straight what you actually want. What you want is wealth, women, and fame, because your belief is that those who have no shortage of money, women, and fame are very happy. Think again. What was Ravan lacking? Ravan had all the things you say are going to make you happy, but still he could not be happy. A mountain looks very beautiful from afar. You see the ingredients for enjoyment from afar and think there is so much happiness in them. But if you look closely, you'll be able to understand that there is more sorrow in them than happiness. A moth sees the splendor of fire from afar and loses its life to it. If you see the glimmer of enjoyment from afar and go to consume it, you will have the same fate. Sometimes you understand there is no happiness and enjoyment, and so sometimes you want to be a jnani. Sometimes you want to be a yogi. Other times you try to be an atheist. These too are mistakes. That is because the purpose of nirvana is obliteration of the soul. If I cease to be, who will enjoy happiness? So I say, think first, then leap. Listen, I'm going to tell you a story, one you already know. There was a fox who somehow or other fell into a well. Along came a goat, quite parched, looking for water. The goat saw there was a fox in the well. He thought the fox must have been as thirsty as him and therefore gone down into the well. So he asked the fox, "Brother, is there any water left for me to drink down there?" There was no water in the well, but the fox was very cunning. So he said, "Brother, there is a ton of fresh, cold water. I've had my fill. I can't finish it." As soon as the fox said this, the goat jumped into the well. And just about as quickly, the fox leapt up onto the goat's back and jumped up out of the well. The goat started saying, "Hey, there's no water down here. Why did you cheat me like that?" In response, the fox said, "See how long your beard is? If you had a quarter of that worth of brains, you would have stopped to think a moment before you jumped in." Saying this, the fox left. Hence, I said, think before you leap. The words of Bhagavan and his devotees are not deceptive like that. If you listen to what they say, you will not have to leave your sons and daughters and go to the Himalayas. You will not have to endure the sun and rain and do austerities. You will not have to do yoga to control your senses. And what you are looking for, you will find, plus more joy than you were expecting. Do you even know what that is like? Engage your desires in the service of Krishna. Channel your anger towards those who are inimical to Krishna's devotees. Be greedy for Harikatha and Kirtan in the association of sadhus. Know yourself to be the servant of Krishna, and whatever is yours, know all of that to be ingredients for the service of Krishna. Live an upstanding moral life and earn money. Use what you need to survive, and devote the rest to distributing Bhagavad Shastras, preaching Bhagavan's name, establishing deities, and other works for Bhagavan. Just once, hear what Bhagavan and his devotees have to say, and you will not have to be cheated anymore. I wish I had an illustration or like a little animation of the fox and the well and the goat. Maybe we can get AI to do that soon. Paraṁ Dṛṣṭvā Nivarttate. Unless, what does that mean? Paraṁ Dṛṣṭvā Nivarttate? I was just looking that up. Means far superior things by experiencing he ceases from. So by experiencing superior things, we cease from inferior things. Unless we find something that is topmost, something that has no superior or no equal, there will be no end to our aspirations. Newer and newer desires appear in our minds constantly. When we see where we are very poor, we think, oh, it would be nice if I had some money. When we come into money, we think, oh, it wouldn't be bad if I had some real estate. Once we get some land, we start wanting a kingdom. Before long, we are not content with being the sovereign rulers of the earth and her oceans. Then you're going to want to start going to Mars. Sorry, no, that wasn't in here. Yayati Maharaj also felt this sort of dissatisfaction and ultimately said, desires can never be satisfied by indulging in them. If you pour ghee onto a fire, it will not go out. It will just burn more fiercely. In the same way, as long as we are covered by the functions of our gross bodies and minds in this state of forgetfulness of our true identity, all the ambition we have for the things we think we need in order to satisfy our senses simply increase exponentially instead of gradually subsiding. Though none of us want unhappiness, dissatisfaction, and blisslessness, they become our constant companions. What is the reason for this? If there is something superlative, why can't we find any trace of it? If we try to answer this question, we can see that our wanting is okay. But what to want? What will appease all our wants? That we do not know. The people we go to seeking the things we want also have no clue about what that topmost thing is, so they cannot tell us what it is. That is why our aspirations never abate. The mother of a boy who is eating dirt knows the wonderful taste of sweets, so she gives her son some sweet treat and dissuades her boy from whatever little taste he was deriving from eating dirt. Jai Shachinandan Nimai. From the moment we descend from our mother's womb upon this earth, we are nurtured and raised with certain examples, which lead to us being habituated to relishing certain things. We are not aware that there is anything better than the things we have liked, are liking, or will like, according to the different perceptions we have in childhood, youth, middle age, and old age. Moreover, no one is satisfied with all the things they are preoccupied with enjoying. The people who are showing us the road ahead are dissatisfied and falling into the jaws of time. They are making arrangements for us too as they go along. So are we just going to end up being dissatisfied birth after birth? The cycle of birth and death won't end if we leave our bodies in a state of dissatisfaction, will it? In answer to that, the sadhus and shastras state, why should you remain dissatisfied? Reap the thing of truth that you seek and become satisfied. Don't think that you are trapped under the impressions coming down to you from your ancestors, and so the path to elevation is somehow shut. It is just Maya who wants to trap you with these impressions and keep you in her clutches. Do not delay any longer. Go and take shelter at the feet of a bona fide guru, someone who has personally relished the supreme object, the taste of which will satisfy you forever. Take shelter of a guru who can lead you to that supreme object. Only he will fulfill your ambitions. That supreme object can only be Krishna Bhakti. If the people of this world, whom you call your own, and whose example you wish to adopt, do not want Krishna Bhakti, then it is not as if you too must be deprived of Krishna Bhakti and remain dissatisfied. The previous Mahajans, the great personalities of the past, are cognizant of the nature of the soul and are most intimately connected to you and all the people you call your own in this world. Theirs is the Shrotapantha, the path of hearing. If you want to take that path and relish the supreme object yourself, then if you take to that path and relish the supreme object yourself, then you will become satisfied. Then you will be able to give that to everyone else as well. If you develop a taste for the supreme object, you will no longer have any inclination to enjoy inferior objects. Purva itihas bhulibhe sakal seva sukha teye manem. You will forget all your past history through the joy of service. Therefore, there is no longer any point in us expressing greed for the kind of joy that is initially pleasant, but ultimately saddening, and that deprives us of attaining eternal bliss. All this time, whatever was meant to happen has happened. Therefore, it is imperative that we attain a state of purity through repentance and adopt the path of the greats, the Mahajans who have gone before us. If we follow the path of those who are slaves to their minds, thinking they are our friends and relatives, then we will have to perish in the infinite ocean of miseries. To think a bogus guru is a real guru is the cause of all difficulties and impediments. Intelligent people do not allow themselves to be compelled by bad habits or impressions and invoke their own misfortune for no reason. Human birth is very rare. Bhagavan did not send us here in human form to spend it just any which way. If we squander this God-given opportunity, will we ever attain this opportunity again? That is why it is essential that everyone takes shelter at the feet of a bona fide guru and becomes engaged in seeking the supreme object. Once they achieve that supreme object, they will no longer retain desires for anything else. If we gain the association of saintly persons, then wicked people cannot spread their influence to us anymore. If we obtain the eyes of knowledge, ignorance can no longer come and cover our eyes. Mundane bliss will not be able to come and make us forget the flavor of eternal bliss. I need to take a breath. Okay. So the next section is kind of interesting. I remember it was difficult to translate because of the language of it. Whoever is writing a very colloquial, almost like spoken everyday language. Our friend Chandrasekhar would have been better suited to translating this. But let's give it a shot. So, I think in Bengali it was Ar koto dekhbo, how much more shall I see? The place I know as Koladweep or Kulia, how many times have I come and gone from here? There is Mahaprabhu's home here, Śrīvāsa Angan, Sonar Gauranga, Sitanath's home, Panchatattva, Radha Kund, Sham Kund, Giri Govardhan, the place of Jagai and Madai's deliverance, and Samaj Bari, etc. Sometimes I gave donations in these places. Sometimes I was a Brahmin guest there. Sometimes I dressed up as a Babaji. Sometimes I was referred to as a resident of Navadip. Sometimes I dressed up as an expensive satua. Don't know what a satua is. I enacted the drama of having darshan in so many ways. But I did not have any darshan at all. Then one day I overheard a bitter debate between Satyacharan and Kulia resident Prabhu Shri Kalivagisha Gosai about Shri Mayapur, which made me think there was surely some profound mystery at the bottom of it all. I listened to their debate for a while with a steady mind. Then the next day I arrived in Shri Mayapur in the company of Satyacharan. As I came to the banks of Shri Gaur Kund, I heard a young girl say, "This is Mahaprabhu's home." When I entered the Bari temple home, I was greeted warmly and respectfully by the devotees there, who described all the deities there at length. Having had all the darshans, I was very satisfied and delighted beyond expectation. I could not hold myself back from saying how fortunate I was to have overheard Satyacharan's dispute that led me to have darshan of Mahaprabhu's home via the directions of a little girl. Not only that, but the devotees gave me Mahaprabhu's charanamrit and some of the Balya Bhog Prasad. They took me around to all the sites in Shri Mayapur and very affectionately requested me to stay for midday prasad as well. Meanwhile, a Suvarna Varnik from Ahiritol in Kolkata, accompanied by two widows and his wife and other family members, arrived at Mahaprabhu's Bari. The devotees were similarly attentive in guiding them to have darshan of the deities, etc. This family was also invited to have prasad. When I asked who they were, they told me, "We have, with great effort, obtained a place in the Bari of the renowned, well-connected, and high-class Pathak Mahashai of Kulia. We are relieved to have hopes of staying up until Dashamdol, Gaur Purnima." I asked, "Are you disciples of that Bari?" They replied, "No, but Gosai has a very good relationship with us. He often holds discourses in our home and brings in a lot of money that way." To the Gosai, not to them, I think. I heard from them that the widowed wife of this Gosai's brother cooks for him. Many of his disciples, of course, this is where the Bengali gossip starts. Oh, his brother's wife cooks for him. Many of his disciples have shops in the city and pay his monthly expenses to earn a place in his bari and take prasad there. Anyways, this family took prasad that day with me at Mahaprabhu's bari, and afterwards asks for some cow dung to cleanse the spot we had eaten. At this, one of the devotees said there was no need for cow dung to cleanse the area where one has taken prasad. At this, those pilgrims exclaimed all at once, "What did he say? We have seen that in the Gosai's home, we cannot function without cow dung. Even where we walk, the Ma Gosai will not leave it without spreading cow dung and sweeping it 7 times. I couldn't stay quiet any longer and suddenly blurted out, "Sounds like they have more honor for animal excrement and sweeping. Does your Gosai despise you so much, more than even dung, that he won't let you walk around without cleansing the area with cow dung? But of course, you're sonar bene, gold merchants. so they can't accept even water from your hands. But is the prasad you arrange to be cooked at the Gosai's house also unacceptable for them? Like, you'll provide all the ingredients and pay for everything, and that's fine. The widows then spoke up and said, not only the prasad, the Gosai's deities and Guru Mantra are also basically considered defunct. The deity, the deity's prasad, and the deity's mantra also have no value because we've been disciples of the Gosais for 14 generations, was it? Till now, none of our bodies are considered, is considered pure. They can't take water from our hands. Our mantras, therefore, must not have developed any power. All we hear is that we could not make them lose, their job. So the old ladies, after years and years of dealing with this, are just so fed up. And they're like, yeah, it's all BS. They are jati gosais, aren't they? They are mostly concerned with their caste. I said, then it seems to me that they are not Vaishnavas. I've heard that if you judge a Vaishnava by his caste, you go to hell. Then the two men of the family responded that if these Gosais became actual Vaishnavas, they could not run their guru business. They are Brahman Gosais, Brahman priests. They have all kinds of disciples. Oil makers, florists, washermen, barbers, prostitutes. Hearing this, one of the devotees there at Srimad Mahaprabhu's Bharti explained many subtle points of tattva about Guru, disciples, prasad, Vishnu, and the Vaishnavas, which helped our minds solve these riddles. Maha Prasade Govinde Nama Brahmane Vaishnave. Due to lack of space, I have not been able to include all of what he related. Hearing all this, the men said, oh, those are very broad and elevated topics. Who are we to fathom all this? Now I spoke up. Well, in that case, your Gosais are of a much lower status than you. Just as I was saying this, one Sen Gupta Mahashai of the Jamindar caste from Sri Rampur in the Murshidabad district arrived with some fruit. He, his wife, and their widowed sister-in-law joined our conversation. Immediately, the widow spoke up and said, oh, Baba, the other day, when I took prasad here during the festival and went back to Kulia, everyone told me to eat cow dung because I had lost my caste from eating Mahaprasad with untouchables. Hearing this, I said to her mother, what's wrong with that? They were telling the truth. Because, well, you honored Mahaprasad in Shri Mayapur and then went back and saw the faces of those non-devotees. Seems like eating cow dung would have been an appropriate repentance for that. It's a very, I feel like this is what I didn't realize. Like the Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was in such an intense culture of caste distinction and discrimination that we just have no idea about how, like the levels that it goes to of discrimination, and how he was fighting against all of that. It's really extraordinary.
Was
Anyways.
this article continued in in one of the, like in the next issue or a much later?
Yeah, it goes on for quite a while. It's like 3 or 4 more installments of this, and it's just increasing levels of hilarity. Different characters show up, and it's the guy basically just hangs out at Yoga Pit for, it sounds like, a couple days, and just has all these interesting experiences. So the next one is Śrī Kṛṣṇa Caitanya, another continuation of that. Okay. Do you want to read? Am I hogging the spotlight here?
I'm okay to read, but no, it's not like I want to read, but I'm always like, if you need a break, I'm always available.
Okay.
I'll go.
Haribo.
I have a question. I was wondering, these caste Brahmins were actually one in Bhaktisiddhanta dead. So I was wondering, this article came up. I just came and I didn't see the year, and I forget if it's continuation. But was this before the attack on Bhaktisiddhanta, or
no? This was about 2 years after. So if my memory serves me correct, it was in 1926, the attack. This is in 1928.
Oh, wow.
So it's still ongoing. Because we read, I don't know if I read on the channel here, but earlier in the year, there's a description of Navadvip and Navadvip Parikrama, and they have the superintendent of police with a whole bunch of armed police to escort them through Kulia because of what happened 2 years.
Oh, wow. So much opposition, so much he had to struggle.
Yeah, so much. Yeah, they were in his life.
Yeah.
And then it's also like, it's interesting, it comes out later in the discussions about Mahaprabhu's birthplace, how there were so many individuals who were initially favorable to what Bhaktivinoda Thakur had revealed, because everybody liked Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And so they accepted, when he revealed Mayapur with Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj, they accepted it. And this was like Radha Govindanath, he's like famous writer, and several other famous like speakers and writers who were getting paid for their speaking and stuff. Then what happened was their guru, who was also like a paid speaker, said like, no, we have to oppose them. So all of a sudden, and they showed like, like this is their writing from years prior. And then all of a sudden they changed their tune and they started opposing Bhaktisiddhanta because of articles that he was publishing in the Gaudiya. Saraswati Thakur started publishing really powerful articles in the Gaudiya, chastising people for making money off of Bhagavatam, off of selling mantra, off of, all these things. So then people started to turn against him from his Gaudiya publications.
Right.
Threaten their pocketbooks.
Yeah, threaten their pocketbooks. Because wasn't there also the that they were charging the devotees, Gaudiya Math, I think we read something of charging for darshan.
Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhu. It's great. It's great you translating these things.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so we'll go on with Śrī Kṛṣṇa Caitanya, summaries of Mahaprabhu's pastimes, post-sannyāsa pastimes. It's a continuation of the Shri Mayapur Purna Chandrodaya series. So, Mahaprabhu took sannyas during the bright fortnight of the month of Magh and took up residence in Nilachal during the month of Phalgun. During the month of Phalgun, he beheld the Dol Yatra festival, and in the month of Caitra, delivered Sarvabhauma. Then in the month of Vaishak, he left to tour South India. Right when it was getting hot, he went off to South India. When Mahaprabhu proposed that he would set off alone to wander South India, Nityananda Prabhu petitioned him fervently to take a simple Brahmin individual named Krishnadas with him. Sarvabhauma gave Mahaprabhu 4 sets of kopin, loincloth, and bahirvas, outer cloth, and requested that he meet with Ramananda Roy on the banks of the Godavari. Nityananda Prabhu and several others went as far as Alalnad with Mahaprabhu. There he left the group behind and allowed only the Brahmin Krishnadas to accompany him as he made his way, absorbed in ecstasy and loudly chanting, Krishna, Krishna. Everyone who heard the holy name of Hari issuing from Mahaprabhu's sacred lips also began chanting Nam. Mahaprabhu infused those who surrendered to him with spiritual potency, and thereby made all the inhabitants of South India into Vaishnavas. The glory of Prabhu's mercy manifested more in South India than in Navadvip. It's interesting that people say that, South India is more religious and whatnot, and to think that that's maybe actually a direct result of Mahaprabhu. It wasn't pre-existing Mahaprabhu. In this way, Mahaprabhu arrived.
The Alwarzo came from South India, right?
Yeah, but I'm wondering if maybe over time things had deteriorated, and there was, they say that there wasn't as much Muslim influence or these raids that were in the north, but there was Muslim kingdoms there. Hyderabad was a Muslim kingdom way back. Not sure of the history. Anyways, in this way, Mahaprabhu arrived at Kurmastan and accepted the worship of a Brahmin there who was named Kurma. blessing him and ordering him to preach the name of Krishna. He instructed everyone to become acharya, or in other words, to practice the chanting of Krishna's names and spread the word of Krishna. A Brahmin named Vasudev, who was afflicted with oozing leprosy sores, came to Kurma's home, and Mahaprabhu delivered him both from the leprosy and the disease of material existence, establishing him as an acharya as well. Upon delivering Vasudev, the Lord earned the name Vasudevamritaprada, he who grants immortality to Vasudev. Mahaprabhu then made his way to Jayarnasingha, where he had darshan of the deity. And then in Vidyanagar, on the banks of the Godavari, he saw Rai Ramananda, who had come to take bath there. Ramananda Prabhu requested the Lord to stay for a few days in the village there and exchange Harikatha. So Mahaprabhu stayed in the home of a Vedic Brahmin. In the evening, Ramananda Roy came to Mahaprabhu in simple attire and offered his prostrated obeisance. Mahaprabhu then asked him to recite verses that described the ultimate goal of life. Ramananda Roy first mentioned Varnashram Dharma as being the dharma for pious people in general. Then he mentioned Karmarpan, offering the fruits of one's activities. Then the performance of action without any attachment. Then Gyan Mishra Bhakti, devotion mixed with knowledge. And then finally recited several verses discussing Gyan Shunya Shuddha Bhakti, pure devotion devoid of erudition. This last item Mahaprabhu accepted as the Sadhyavastu, or goal of spiritual practice. Then he asked Prabhu Sri Ravananda to describe more elevated levels of advancement. So Rai first described Shuddha Krishna Rati Rupa Prem Bhakti, pure loving devotion that manifests as deep attachment to Krishna. Then he described Dasya Prem, a servant's divine love. Then Sakya Prem, a friend's divine love. Then Vatsalya Prem, parental divine love. And finally described Kanta Bhavagata Prem, divine love stemming from romantic feelings, as the essence of all spiritual attainments. Rai also explained in various ways exactly how Kanta Prem is the essence of all spiritual attainments. When the Lord did not accept this as the pinnacle of spiritual attainments, then Rai described Sri Radhika's Prem. After that, Rai described Krishna's Swarup, nature, Radha's Swarup, the Swarup of Rasa Tattva and Prema Tattva. After that, prompted by Mahaprabhu's inquiry, Ramananda Rai recited a song he had written about Prem Bilas Vivarta, the bewildering play of divine love, which consists of Adirura Bhav, one of the highest levels of Mahabhav, and stems from deep pangs of separation. Ultimately, what was described was following the guidance of the Brajasakis as a means to obtain the supreme goal of divine loving service to Radha and Krishna. After a variety of discussions about Krishna that occurred every night for several days, Mahaprabhu revealed his Shyama and Gaura forms, Rasaraj and Mahabhav, to Rai, who fainted in ecstasy at the sight. After some days, Mahaprabhu carried on with his tour of South India, leaving Ramananda with the order to relinquish his employment in the king's service and go to Purushottam. Mahaprabhu thus left Vidyanagar and gradually made his way through Gautami Ganga, Mallikarjun, Ahobala Nishingha, Siddhavata, Skanda Kshetra, Trimata, Vriddakashi, Baudhasthan, Tripati, Trimalla, Pananasingha, Shivakanchi, Vishnukanchi, Trikalahasti, Vriddhakola, Shiali Bhairavi, the banks of the Kaveri, Kumbhakarna Kapala, and from there arrived in Sri Rangakshetra. By the Lord's mercy, the Karmis, Gyanis, the worshippers of Ram, the Tattvavadis, the Sri Vaishnavas, and others all developed attachment to the worship of Krishna. At Baudhasthan, Mahaprabhu refuted all the fallacious arguments of the Buddhist preceptor there. The Buddhist preceptor then conspired to present the Lord with a plate of foul, inedible items, when suddenly a huge bird snatched the whole plate and dropped it on the Buddhist leader's head, cutting his head so badly that he fell unconscious. Seeing the state of their teacher, the Buddhists took refuge of Mahaprabhu and became Vaishnavas along with their teacher by performing Krishna Sankirtan on Mahaprabhu's order. The Buddhist teacher offered prayers to Mahaprabhu, seeing him as Krishna. Mahaprabhu then enlightened the Shaivas to their true constitution as Vaishnavas. While staying in Śrīranga Kshetra during the 4 months of Chaturmasya at the home of the Ramanujiya Vaishnava Venkatabhatta, he converted the whole of Venkatabhatta's family from Lakshmi Narayan worshippers to devotees of Krishna. Tirumalai Bhatta, Venkatabhatta, and Prabodhananda Saraswati, these 3 brothers, took shelter of Mahaprabhu's feet and became immersed in the rasa of Radha and Krishna. Shri Venkatabhatta's brother, Shri Prabodhananda Saraswati, was a Tridandi sannyasi. He was the uncle and teacher of Venkata's son, Gopal Bhatta. When Mahaprabhu was living in Venkatabhatta's house, Gopal Bhatta had the fortune of seeing and serving Mahaprabhu. From Srirangam, Mahaprabhu went to Rishabh mountain and met with Shri Paramananda Puri. Puri Goswami then departed to Purushottam, and Mahaprabhu headed towards Setubandha. In Dakshina Mathura, seeing the sorrow of one Brahmin devotee of Lord Ram, Mahaprabhu consoled him, saying, "The transcendental goddess of Vaikuntha, Sita Devi, is beyond the sight and touch of the demon Ravan." Then in Rameshwara, he found proof of his statement in a verse from the Kurma Puran and brought it back to the Brahmin to show him. In the Malabar region, the Lord's companion, the simple-hearted Krishnadas, fell into the clutches of the Bhattataris, and Mahaprabhu rescued him. Through this pastime, Mahaprabhu demonstrated what result the living entity reaps by the misuse of his independence, and taught that if the living entity becomes distracted from Krishna's service for even a moment, it is inevitable that he will fall prey to the influence of Maya. On the banks of the Payaswini, Mahaprabhu acquired the 5th chapter of the Vaishnava text of Brahma Samhita. From there, the Lord went to Sringeri Math and Udupi. When the Madhvaita Tattvavadi Acharya there spoke of Karma Gyan Mishra Bhakti, Mahaprabhu did not accept. Ultimately, that Madhvaita Acharya was defeated in debate by Mahaprabhu and came to realize Mahaprabhu's glory. In Pandharpur, Mahaprabhu heard from Sri Rangapuri of the disappearance of Sri Shankararanya, his older brother, Vishwarup. From a temple on the banks of the Krishna Vainava, he acquired the text of Śrī Kṛṣṇa Karnamrita. Returning to Vidyanagar, he again met with Rai Ramananda and returned to Puri via Alalnath. Next, we have kind of the beginning of the news section, but it's more about Mayapur. So it's like the local news. Astounding news. One afternoon, an individual with a noticeable overbite who introduced himself as the employee of a Hitavadi philanthropic organization and a young Babaji in full attire came to see Sri Yukta Manik Lal Chakravarti Bhakti Chakor on Ram Kamal Sain Lane and revealed that they had gotten his address from Sri Yukta Dhirananda Kavyanidhi and thus come to see him. The purpose of their visit was to spout various allegations in contradiction of Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Shri Jagannath Das Babaji and spin several tales to mislead people into believing that the birthplace of Gauranga Singha in Kakurmat is the birthplace of Sriman Mahaprabhu. These people have now gone on a rampaging dance of various efforts to reject the sight revealed by the world-revered Shri Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj. These two have jeopardized themselves by trying to coerce and deceive the grandson of the dearly departed, highly revered Ram Sevak Chattopadhyay Bhakti Bhushan Mahashaya, who gave his life and soul to the service of Sri Gaura Vishnupriya and Sri Radha Madhav, and who would literally clutch these deities to his chest while serving them here at Ram Kamal Sain Lane. The simple-hearted Bhakti Chakor Mahashaya could understand their ignoble intentions and humbly said, even an ignorant person would not engage in such indiscretion. He told them that an educated, civilized son of such an illustrious family could not go outside the limits of decency and do all that they had asked of him by way of proposal. Moreover, he expressed that he found their questions, which were rooted in very mundane conspiracy theories, very disturbing, and he was not at all inclined to open up his chest, his heart, and lend support to this sort of petty pursuit. The salary-consuming employee of a vulgar utilitarian periodical has overstepped his qualifications, and in the course of publishing a letter addressed to the so-called Dada Babaji in the Hitavadi magazine in what is supposed to be some sort of astounding revelation of conspiracy, committed a grave offense to the general manager Mahashai of the Sridham Pracharani Sabha. Chakravarti Mahashai reported that this, I'm sorry for these character attacks here, but they are annoyed, that this buck-toothed, cane-wielding individual has overstepped all limits of proper gentlemanly decency. Mahashai has communicated to us all the details of the various discussions that transpired. We will discuss all those topics and the matter of their behavior another time. It really paints a picture, though. But I feel like the PC police will have a problem with those descriptions. Anyways.
Yeah, that's offensive towards bucktooth people.
Nana Katha. Padma breaking her banks. In the steamer station of Tarpasha up to, from the steamer station of Tarpasha up to Bhaval, the villages of Lohajang, Dhanakuniya, Brahmangaon, Sanihati, and Bhaval itself are in grave danger if the Padma breaks his banks. I was looking actually at the map of this, and the Padma, if you see going through Bangladesh, is just this massive river. And when it breaks its banks, well, all hell breaks loose. It is predicted that this year, the condition of the river is such that these villages could be washed away without a trace, and adjoining villages destroyed too. One branch of the Padma that runs along the southern regions of Taratia, Lohajang, Dhanakuniya, Brahmangaon, Sanihati, and Bhaval is where the steamers to Chandpur, Goyaland, and Narayanganj run. It seems the heavy steamer traffic in these areas has broadened and deepened the Padma's flow there, strengthening its current, and now the aforementioned villages sit in its path of destruction. To the south of the branch that runs along the southern regions of Lohajang, Brahmangaon, Sanihati, and Bhaval, there is a huge floodplain, and to the south of that is the actual Padma River. If the steamers use the actual Padma River as their route and move the current Tarpasha station 3 to 4 miles east, setting up a station near Bahar Bazar instead, and if they dumped brick or stone at the mouth of the Padma branch near Bhaval, where it has gotten very deep and wide, this could reduce the strength of the branch's current and divert it back to the actual Padma. This could save Taratia, Lohajang, Dhanakuniya, Brahmangaon, Sanihati, Bhaval, and other villages. That's interesting, huh? That redirecting the river current by depositing a huge amount of bricks or something at the mouth of this branch. And I mean, maybe they heeded this advice, and because I was looking at the map and those villages are still there. We hope that the steamers will take action quickly, having seen the ghastly sight at Bikrampur. If citizens do not pay attention to this, the main port of Bikrampur and the homes of many people in Lohajang, Dhanakuniya, and other famed villages, as well as the home of the renowned Jamandar of Lohajang, Pal Chaudhary Babu, will soon be destroyed by the Padma. The ancient glory of Bikrampur, the Taratia Mutt, disappeared into the depths of Padma last Ashvin. There is no counting how many hundreds of heritage sites like this have disappeared into the fathomless depths of the Padma. We hope that the government will also look into this matter properly. So this is from the Dainik Basumati. Shriyukta Gandhi Mahashai has not been able to decide anything about going overseas. He has said he has suspended his plans in case some task arises that would demand his presence. Last week on the rail line between Sara and Sirajganj, In a place called Kaliyaharipur, an elderly person was hit by a moving train and died. The corpse was sent to the hospital. As of last Wednesday, the ministerial crisis of Bengal has somewhat subsided. At a conference of the Bengal Legislative Assembly, in a vote of non-confidence in Minister Sir Prabhas Chandra Mitra and Nawab Musharraf Hussain, the proposal has been rejected as Sir Prabhas Chandra Mitra received 62 votes in favor and 65 against, and Nawab Musharraf Hussain received 60 in favor and 66 against. Maiman Singh's Maharaja of Muktagacha, Shashikant Acharya Chaudhary, have supported the side of the Swaraj Party. The Swaraj Party has shown him... Maiman Singh's Maharaja of Muktagacha, Shashikant Acharya Chaudhary, has supported the side of the Swaraj Party. The Swaraj Party has shown him immense honor. An 11-year-old boy named Devanandan Oja was acting out Ram Lila in Shivapur. A Westerner was so enchanted by his acting, or perhaps there was another reason, that he enticed the boy with sweets and brought him to Calcutta by taxi, where he locked the boy in a home in St. James Square. The police have rescued the boy. So there was some creepy Western pedophiles running around, scooping up innocent Ram Lila acting boys. Members of the Simon Commission have been greeted by the government of Punjab and the Rajanya Party. They will travel from Delhi to Bombay on March 30th. From there, they will return to their country on March 31st. A passenger ship named Humayun will leave the port of Calcutta this upcoming 12th of April with Hajj pilgrims. Pilgrims can obtain information from the Protector of Pilgrims office in Lal Bazar. Hajj is when they go to Mecca, right? Customs Duties Department Inspector Shri G.N. Kara has found several hundred taka worth of opium in a parcel in the General Post Office. As the parcel does not seem to have an owner, nobody want to claim this packet of opium? Anyone? Anyone? The administration of the Customs Department has been informed. A government notice has been posted banning the operation of any ox-drawn carriage in Calcutta between 12 and 3 in the afternoon during the months of April, May, and June. This is due to the efforts of the Animal Protection Society. A Westerner named Porn got drunk with his woman and fell down a flight of stairs, landing unconscious at the bottom. Both husband and wife are currently in hospital. Such is the fate of drunkards. I guess there weren't as many Indian people doing that kind of thing. There was some belligerent Irishmen, probably. I can say that, I'm Irish. Last Monday in Alipur, Hassanabad, a gruesome murder occurred. A man named Mangal Gaji had taken some documents pertaining to a lawsuit and shown them to a lawyer. Some thug then murdered him on his way back from the lawyer's office. When he was late returning from the lawyer, his family members went out looking for him and found Mangal Gaji's bloodied corpse covered with wounds. Again, in Alipur last Tuesday, next to the Jayanagar field, when a Sandesh seller named Haricharan did not come home from the market on time, his family informed the police, who found his corpse not far from the market. Investigation is ongoing. This past March 20th in the afternoon, 8 people were working atop the petrol tank of the Bombay Induvarma Petroleum Company. Suddenly, the petrol exploded, throwing all 8 of them here and there and killing them all. During the last riot between Hindus and Muslims that transpired in Nagpur, 5 Muslims were killed. 9 Hindus have been charged with burning their homes. Session Judge Mr. Staples has ordered 8 of the accused to life imprisonment in the Andamans, despite the jury's pleas, apparently. A dead body has been found in the branches of a tree in the Shivapur Botanical Garden. Police investigation is going on. A dacoity occurred recently at the home of Shriyut Govinda Chandra Sarkar in Ilamjani, which falls under the jurisdiction of the Ulapara station. Approximately 700 taka worth of cash and jewelry has been looted. One person has been grievously injured. Investigation is ongoing. The principal of Scottish Church College has sought explanations for students' absences on March 20th. The explanation students have provided is, "Sir, when you ordered a good student like Śrī Kṛṣṇa Mitra to be expelled, we wrote to you asking you to tell us what complaint had been lodged against him. You did not even lift an eyebrow at anything we said. In this kind of situation, what else can we do in protest of such selfish behavior aside from not attending school? Until we obtain some respectful resolution in regard to the plight of Shacindra Mitra, it will not be possible for us to attend the college." Talk about brotherhood, huh? All the students who are stipend holders study free or partially free at the college. They too were supposed to have held a meeting at Cornwallis College Square yesterday. Reports are that several professors or others are going around saying that almost 100 students have written in begging forgiveness, but this is not the actual case. Fake news. There is ongoing unrest at City College as well. Last Thursday evening, a meeting was held at the University Institute and attended by the students, guardians, and members of the general public. On March 20th, Captain Bach arrived in Kanpur from Delhi via airplane. There was talk of him going to Calcutta from Kanpur on March 21st. As a result of several German engineers being held in jail in Russia, permissions that had been given to several Russian engineers to oversee the construction of Venice have been revoked. And that is all for today.
All right. So, I guess then I'll end with the kirtan. 1 second, let me. All right. 1 second. Just getting my mridanga. What's a good melody? Okay. Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaur, Hari Bol. Śrīvāsa, would you like to do Jayadwani?
Sure.
Okay.
Jai Shri Shri Guru Gauranga Gandharvika Giridhari Shri Radha Bino Bihari Shri Radha Gopinath Madan Mohan Ki Jai. Jai Niti Leela Prabhishtam Vishnupada Shri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Narayana Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Niti Leela Prabhishtam Vishnupada Shri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Bhaman Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Leela Prabhishtam Shri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Trivikram Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Leela Prabhishtam Vishnupada Shri Srimad Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. जय नित्य लीला प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद श्री श्रीमद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी महाराज की जय. जय नित्य लीला प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद श्री श्रीमद भक्ति प्रज्ञान केशव गोस्वामी महाराज की जय. जय नित्य लीला प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद श्री श्रीमद भक्ति प्रमोद पुरी गोस्वामी महाराज की जय. जय श्रीमद भक्ति रक्षक श्रीधर गोस्वामी महाराज की जय. सपार्षद जय गुरु शिला भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर श्री प्रभुपाद की जय. महाभागवत प्रभु श्री गौर किशोरदास बाबा जी महाराज की जय. सप्तम गोस्वामी सच्चिदानंद शिला भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की जय. वैष्णव सार्वभौम श्री जगन्नाथ दास बाबा जी महाराज की जय. गौड़ी वेदांत आचार्य श्री बलदेव विद्याभूषण प्रभु की जय. शिला विश्वनाथ चक्रवर्ती ठाकुर की जय. नरोत्तम श्रीनिवास श्यामानंद प्रभुत्रय की जय. श्री कृष्णदास कविराज गोस्वामी प्रभु की जय. श्री वृंदावन दास ठाकुर की जय. श्री रूप सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ श्री जीव गोपाल भट्टदास रघुनाथ गोस्वामी प्रभु की जय. श्री स्वरूप दामोदराय रामानंदाय श्री गौर पार्षद वृंद की जय. नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय. प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय. नवदीप मायापुर धाम की जय. श्री वृंदावन धाम की जय. श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपी गोवर्धन द्वादश मनक श्री ब्रजमंडल धाम की जय. राधा कुंज श्याम कुंज यमुना गंगा भक्ति तुलसी देवी की जय. सर्वाभीष्ट प्रदाता श्री गिरिराज महाराज की जय. जय भक्ति विघ्न विनाशंकारी श्री नृसिंह भगवान की जय. भक्त प्रभा श्री प्रहलाद महाराज की जय. जय श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्र सुदर्शन चक्र जीव की जय. श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय. चारि धाम चार्याचार्य चारि संप्रदाय की जय. आकर मठरा श्री चैतन्य मठ की जय. श्री केशव जी गौड़िया मठ की जय. अन्य शाखा मठ समूह की जय. दैनिक नदिया प्रकाश की जय. त्रिभुवन मंगल हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय. अनंत कुरी वैष्णव वृंद की जय. समागत ऑनलाइन भक्त वृंद की जय. निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल. वांछाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमः. Thank you, Madhukar Prabhu. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Śrīvāsa, for translating all these articles. So everybody, Dandavat, and let's see who's here. Dandavat Pranams, Śrīvāsa, and Sarveshwari Mataji, Shri Devi Didi, Nri Hari Prabhu, Bhavatarani Mataji, Madhavendra, Champak Mataji, Madhavendra Puri Prabhu, Shubhananda Prabhu, and let's see on YouTube and Facebook, Raseshwari Mataji, Satya Mataji, Vidyalala Sadidi, and a bunch of other devotees. Wow, a lot of people joined on Facebook today. But I don't see your name if you don't write a comment. But pranams to all of you. Pranams to all the devotees watching in the future. And I don't see your name if you don't write a comment. But pranams to all of you. Sorry. No. So if you haven't done so already, I highly recommend everybody go to Śrīvāsa's website, bigdrum.us, subscribe to his mailing list.
Very good. Śrīvāsa Prabhu?
Yes.
Yes. In the message he mentions about which point, that the point that at that time, in this type of social customs, how Srila Prabhupada was managing all this thing. And that was the point. Yes.
All right. Cool.
It's a very difficult time, no? I just heard this type of practices was there all over places. But this is actually from our Acharya's writing. This comes in Nadīyā Prakāśa, so it's confirmed.
Well, that's good news to me that you haven't experienced this nowadays. So it's gotten better.
Yes.
Oh, one thing.
Recently, one of our God brothers also mentioned this type of same point was there, that if you accept donations and all those things from this maybe from lower caste or something, you don't have any right to have this type of chua-chu, untouchability practices or all this. You accept other things except the body of that person or all these personal association. And
yeah, they keep also here in Nadīyā Prakāśa, they keep making that point. If you're going to accept donations, if you're going to make disciples and accept donations, then you've lost your caste by those standards. So you can't play a double standard, play both sides.
Exactly.
And then this is a different topic, but in the last, I think in our last reading together, Śrīvāsa was mentioning this amazing article by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, Kirtan Vigyan, the science in Kirtan. And so that's all available for everybody to see if anybody's interested in seeing it. I'm just pasting the link. You can also subscribe to Śrīvāsa's the Big Drum YouTube channel. There aren't enough subscribers there. It's only 59, so have to fill up that subscriber list. Again, because Śrīvāsa is putting out really awesome content. And so I'm posting it also in the YouTube. You'll see it in the YouTube chat right now. Yeah, everybody, check out this amazing video. Also very nicely edited. I was very impressed.
All with iMovie.
Wow.
Yeah. And we're going to follow this up with, I guess it's going to be a series. There's some articles from Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj that actually follow this vein of thought. He starts talking about, it's like our Gaudiya Vaishnava subatomic theory of how the Jivatma is there, very, very small, and he's actually powering the subatomic particles. So we'll get into that also, and maybe we'll do. I'm going to maybe try to do some shorter animations for certain parts of that article, but it'll be a series.
Awesome! That's exciting. Cool. All right, Dandavat Pranams, everybody. Hare Krishna. See you all next time. Tomorrow we're gonna go through the second part of this song. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is praying in the mood of a cow. We went through it, but we didn't get enough time to get through it nicely, and so we're having part 2 tomorrow. If anybody wants to hear cow kata and how to pray in the mood of a cow, so that we can be fully dependent on Krishna. Praying to be one of Krishna's nurtured cows. Yes. All right. Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranams, everybody. See you all tomorrow, or next Sunday, whatever. All right, Hari Bol.